Oh hi, I'm just testing the theory that Heyrosa De Cuerdas can fight in tight alleyways or corners, you know. But yeah, today's takeaways, let's start with it's a little bit of history, lore, just footwork and defense. Those are just the top 3 things. Let's make this quick. I was asking Richard a lot of trivia questions, some lore background. I was asking, why does Heyrosa have a logo of a triangle, right? Because in my opinion, Heyrosa's logo ought to have an infinity sign. It should be like a sideways 8, since the twist is so important. But he told me, oh, it's because footwork and strikes. In general, the strikes in Heyrosa are triangles, and the footwork is triangular somewhat, right? As in the apex of the triangle is always facing the opponent. But I asked Richard, does Heyrosa have like a forward marching, like a forward continuous forward attacking footwork? For example, like in Bikini Tertia, we were doing the constant bridging and male triangle attacks. But he said, no, not really, not in Heyrosa De Cuerdas. Heyrosa still wants to be really static, low to the ground center of gravity, very slow. Well, slow as in not far reaching. You're not really leaping to close the gap. You're not doing like point sparring, right, like a fencer. You're just sticking close to the opponent like in Wing Chun and basically strafing around him. And I guess the biggest movement in Heyrosa is where you just step towards the side, right? Like to make yourself a small target, or to face the opponent who's like, you know, I guess you're pivoting to face him, like in how like a boxer would just pivot. Second takeaway is today it felt like Richard was amping up his defense, right? Like in the last video I said, oh, Richard was starting to increase the intensity of his offense during sparring, but today he was really showcasing his defense. And it is very humbling because you think that, oh, you're starting to finally hit faster with your otso. But as it turns out, when he's actually trying to be serious, he's just going to seal you. He's just going to apply continuous forward pressure using that really tight, small Heyrosa footwork and just not give you any room to breathe or attack. I'm pretty sure I landed 0 hits in this bout here. Richard is just giving me an opportunity to figure out, problem solve, figure out the puzzle of his check hand just overlapping my attack hand and check hand. He has plenty of opportunities to counter me, but he chooses just to play defense. Here's another video of an example of Richard applying continuous forward pressure, just defending. So yeah, that's a really cool impression I had. And finally, third takeaway is just various bits of trivia, such as how like, Richard was telling me how GM Owit, rest in peace, he would observe all his students sparring, including him, and all the other GMs, and what he would do would be like, hey Richard, come up here. He would tell one of the students, and he would just give them personal pointers like, oh, so this is how GM so-and-so fights. Here's what you can do to counter him. Like he was telling me how like Richard was called to GM Owit. He told him like, oh, if you want to beat this GM style, he really likes to step out and do continuous delta attacks or seguidas. Like, oh, what you do is just pin and do like an arm bar or something. But yeah, those are my takeaways for today. Good night. The Cebuano word for today is kumusta. Kumusta, bro? How you been? How you doing? Kumusta? Yes. Comes from como estas.